buckle up, boys. This is a big one.
All right.
Black Clover chapter 258 begins with the aftermath of the fight between Xeno and Willie Vengeance following the ceiling's collapse. After confirming the two Spade Kingdom knights are knocked out, Xeno attacks the three remaining Magic Knights. Yuno manages to fend off the attack. Klaus and Latoile, I think I got her name right, are overwhelmed and seemingly dead. Yuno attacks Xeno, but is unable to break through his bone defenses, realizing that his bones are regenerating faster than his wind magic can destroy it. Acknowledging Yuno's above average strength, Xeno reveals 55% of his devil power magic to Yuno before attacking. Ralph returns to find everybody dead, Will abducted, and Yuno dying or near death. We can assume, because Yuno's not going to die. Just throwing it in there, just saying. Yeah. So I guess my three main takeaways, the introduction of these Spade Knights and like the devil magic kind of part of these guys, a lot of death and a lot of just blatant overwhelming strength. This is the first time that we've seen like we're not getting that Naruto type, power up, pull things through by some miracle moment. Like people are dying a lot. Like, I mean, I want to find out how they're going to justify everybody coming back to life if that's what happens, because it seems like everybody is dead in there. And because of that, like with that being the case, do y'all think this is like the beginning phase of like Black Clover's dark, a dark period for Black Clover, where the Clover Kingdom potentially goes through that dark period? But other two questions, pretty brief. Yuno's in a bad spot. Bone power is OP. What happens next? Straightforward.
So
don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down
below.
Don't
forget to like and subscribe. Let us know what you think.
All right. So what was the first question again?
Well, go on, Connor.
Thank you. My last question was, what's going to happen to Will Vengeance?
Willie Vengeance.
Willie
Vengeance.
Willie V. Willie V. I mean, what's going to happen to our boy?
I mean, he could be done by the end of this arc. Honestly, I can see it happening. Yuno's got to be the captain somehow, and this seems like the arc where Yuno becomes captain.
So I think
this is long term. This is long term.
I think this arc kind of wrapping into what your first question was, Connor, with like.
Yeah, let's go back to that first question, DJ.
Yeah, so the first question that we asked was like, do you think that this is are people going to die, and is this into Black Clover's darker phase, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they confirm these deaths, because I do agree, it does look like he killed a lot of people. He would have.
Klaus had two bones like through both sides where the heart was.
He's fine. Klaus is fine. So the chick. They're both fine.
If these people are dead and he eradicates the Golden Dawn, that would set up Yuno taking over the Spade Kingdom and William Vengeance possibly walking away from being a Magic Knight captain. Like kind of the Golden Dawn being eradicated almost. And like other people like Klaus that we do care about from Golden Dawn, if he is alive, going and joining other teams, which I absolutely could see. I could absolutely see like William Vengeance even coming to another team, or like doing something outside of being like a captain for the Golden Dawn or whatever. But that will heavily depend, and obviously you can't make a call on whether the author is going to kill people or not. Like if he decides to like really, go balls to the wall to a sense and just say, hey, these people are dead, we're killing people, here we go killing again, then like I think that will set up bigger things at play, because then they're going to go back to the Spade Kingdom. They're going to have to, save William Vengeance, fight the devil, like fight all these guys. If they beat them, they're going to have to start over with the Spade Kingdom. Who's going to take over, right?
Well, yeah, and like I've assumed from the moment we found out that Yuno was a prince of the Spade Kingdom, that as soon as I read that, I was like, okay, there it is. That is the cop out or the explanation the author now has for why Yuno isn't the Wizard King. why Asta, why, like, because we know that, you know, they're obviously they both want to be Wizard King. This is the excuse he has, or that he created, for getting Yuno, you know, out of the way without there being some kind of like face off.
Because not everybody can be Wizard King.
Yep. So
what about co-Wizard Kings? Okay, like.
Damn.
Well, then when do we draw the line?
No democracy. No democracy.
You can all be Wizard Kings at this point.
You get a Wizard King. You get a Wizard King.
It's taking away from the meaning of the title, Xander. So, yeah, but here's why Klaus and Latoile are still alive. I mean, so there's two reasons, right? In the last chapter, you had the scene where they talked about the elf power, how they can harness the elf power and stuff. They're not just going to kill them right after they said like that they have all this potential power, because those are really those are the two main named characters who have that power, who they can develop with it.
That may be the cop out. Everybody who lives has just the ones who have the elf power, right? Like that. Would be.
So that's one thing. I mean, like they're not just going to introduce the Compass Girl as like a non-elf just to kill her off like that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, if they're going to die, they would have died that chapter. You know, the fact that it's a cliffhanger, they look dead, but this is Black Clover, right? Like they could take a potion and it'll be fine. As long as Rolf gets them the potion while they're still breathing, they're fine.
Well, no, but like, I mean,
or
I'm in the middle
12 years saved up in a time capsule somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. I'm in the middle of reading it. I'm in the middle of rereading, and like they talk about how like recovery magic, like the best recovery magic, you know, magicians, the best they can do is close wounds. Like when Asta gets his arms messed up by that curse, they talk about how nope, nothing I can do. He's a cripple. Sorry.
Damn, you're right.
That is true.
So I'd also like to note that there are not 2 bones in Klaus. There are 11 bones in Klaus.
Well, yeah. I was just talking about the main.
I just want y'all to know that the boy is.
How many vitals are we looking at?
No, it doesn't matter vital. The only vital point in anime is the heart or the brain. Okay, if anything else, it's not a vital point.
He has it in both sides.
Yeah, so
is it through the heart? Though? If it's not through the heart, he's fine.
So
there's 0 vital points in manga other than the heart and the brain. That's just how it works.
And now, granted, it's, you know, we're nitpicking. It looks like his right lung definitely pierced. The left, if his heart isn't pierced, then the lung for sure is. So but Klaus doesn't look dead because he's like his eyes are open a little bit and he's just like
that means he is dead. He looks like his eyes are glazed over like a corpse.
No, they don't look glazed over. The girl, on the other hand, is like this, so she may be legit dead. I don't think Klaus is.
He's boneless now.
Yeah, I could have seen him killing Klaus, but like I think he would have made it more explicit, and they wouldn't have had the character development beforehand. Like
I could see him.
I thought it was very explicit.
He might be out of action for a while. He might be out of action for a little bit, but he's fine.
Yeah, for like the whole arc. I mean, like I don't.
For the whole arc. It's gonna be a long time to justify this cop out, but.
So, like, you gotta think. Fueglion, is that his name?
Fueglion.
Yeah, that.
Fueglion, I don't know.
He lost an arm and
Leon
was out for like 3 seasons or the equivalent, you know?
What is a season in manga?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying, though. He was gone from several, like, he didn't see Asta get
3 units of
Asta
chapters.
got 2 additional ab sets, like, in the time before Fueglion came back. Like, if that's how long it took to replace an arm, and Klaus is shish kebabbed, I mean,
the rest of the arc, I say, you know, he's not going to see Bone Guy until after Bone Guy.
So, I think DJ's in denial. I think DJ's in denial.
I mean, come on, I can't believe this is an unpopular opinion. Like, we know how this plays out, right? Like, we all read manga.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I feel like you guys are making the bolder claim right now.
I think in 40 chapters, we're going to look back on this as the massacre of the Golden Dawn. It's going to be like.
I mean, dude, I would be all for it. Okay, I have more respect to the author if that's what happens.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Though.
I don't believe he has the guts to do it.
Well, and the only reason I brought that up, right? Because obviously we've seen countless examples of these guys being in near-death situations. I mean, I thought the what's her name, the Fuegelion's sister.
Mary Eliana.
Yeah. When I thought she was going to die 100%, and he pulled it last minute, but that still had that aspect of like the bunny hopping power dynamic. This was a completely, and DJ, rereading, I saw the part with what is it with Light, where he and rereading Light's backstory, or not Light,
his name is Licht also.
Licht. No, the lightning guy, the one who Miles loves to fight everybody.
Luck.
Sorry, yeah. Luck. Like his remembering his backstory now, like it is a much bigger implication that he didn't want to fight him.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. You guys are sleeping on Zenon.
But that's my point. Like this is all proof that like Zenon is a different level. He is such a different level that like maybe the way the author introduces him is this guy fucking killed the best Magic Knight squad. Period.
I would love it. I would love it if that's what happens, but I don't think that's what is going to happen.
So I think that Zenon has younger Toguro brother vibes, where the whole like 55%, and it's like still clapping people, and then he's gonna go up to it, and then he's gonna go up to 100%. Yeah, he's gonna do 100%, and then Asta's gonna defeat him, and then we're gonna get to the next villain, and that dude will be an S tier villain, but then Zenon was just a B tier, and it's like what? Yeah. Like how could that possibly get? Because Toguro was killing everybody, so he's got those vibes, like specifically because of the percentages. And the only other villain that I could think of was Toguro, that was like, this is me at 30%, and he just like slams down an entire building. Yeah. You're like, what's 100%? Like,
well, and I mean, it's obviously the more likely, result. I mean, it would be very textbook, and that's kind of why I'm hoping it's not, because Black Clover has from the start set itself apart by being, I feel like it really exemplifies all the best parts of like a good manga, the action, the dialogue, the pacing, just all of it. And so, I mean, I could, because like obviously we're leading towards like the devils and the demons, that being the bigger overarching like plot line, I feel like, beyond this Spade Kingdom arc. So knowing that we're going to be learning more about these demons and whatnot, I don't think like we'll see that, well, now this new evil guy, after they beat the Dark Triad, this new evil guy makes Zenon look like nothing. I don't know if we'll see that. I think it'll be just like a different kind of powerful, like just as much of a threat, just a different form of a threat, not related to that devil demon world background. But
okay,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I definitely agree with that. And so then, do we want to then now get to because I feel like that's a big part of this. I mean, that's obviously the biggest whammy of the entire thing. I was
gonna say, let's bundle my last two questions just into one. Yuno's in a bad spot. And
he's definitely not dead, because the fairy is still with him, and I thought once they
he's also like he's fine.
I was just gonna say, I mean,
it is a little scary that how the fairy like looks, how they drawn it, but I had the same thought as you, Xander. Like if the spirit is still with him, then he's still alive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The minute that
they die,
Fauna died, Fueglion got the salamander or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then was able to reconstruct his entire arm with fire, which was amazing.
And so is that a sword through him, or like a bone sword? I feel like it's a bone sword.
I think it's a bone sword.
I think it's the latter. Yeah.
Bone sword.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because of that thought to me. Now this might be like a little too wild, but in that reality would mean that is well, it's not really like I guess it's a tinfoil theory, but not really, right? So I'm just thinking of it kind of like the science behind the My Hero thought with the cork, right? So the science behind this would be that in my head, a lot of the magic is magic. Like it would disperse with distance or with consciousness. Like if you get a person too far away from his magic, it would go away. If you knocked him unconscious, it would go away. You know, things like who's the one guy we saw with the puppets? You know, if you knock him out, his puppet disappears. Or like I'd imagine there would be a distance between that as well. But
Raids
like
was named Raids or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's Raids.
But it would just seem like with any magic, that would seem like there are two parameters around it. With this, it seems like that bone magic is like a physical. Once he makes it, it's a physical bone that he can regenerate onto, which I don't know if that will have effects later on, but like, is that going to affect Asta's sword, right? Like if it's a physical thing instead of magic, will that not be able to be broken through as easily as like a magic bone or something like that?
Like, yeah, and I thought I was gonna how is the anti-magic and Asta's role, how is that going to factor into this? And obviously we know the bone power is like, up to this point, it's the most powerful magic we've seen, I think. I mean, we know Yuno's magic specifically is like, its whole thing, it's like Naruto, where the wind chakra, you know, the wind style chakra, like it's 1,000 tiny swords that are like attacking, you know, the target. Very similar to this, where it just weathers, you know, it weathers it down. But this stuff can regenerate faster than theoretically the most weathering ability out there. So go ahead.
The question I had to that, I guess, something I was rolling off of, was basically in my thinking, right? If you go back to what they were saying about the magic, his bone magic would have to stem, it would have to stem from a fire, correctly, because it would have to be like a subsidiary of like a fire magic because it was so effective against a wind. And so in saying that, wouldn't like something like Noel's power, like being pure water, be able to possibly erode that quicker than what he like? Something like Noel's magic might come into play later, because if you go back to just like the, you know, like the little triangle, right? Like every magic has to have something that's weaker against it. Yeah. So if it comes from fire, then it
will. That's where it comes to that's where it comes down to the arcane mages, where I don't think that their weaknesses are so straightforward. Just like with Yuno, with Asta, what's his weakness? It's not Telling magic. Well, it's physical magic, right? Like that's his weakness.
Right. The dark magic is the same sense.
Yeah, so that's where I think that my theory of what was it, the Heart Queen getting killed, and then
I'm gonna try to cover this up.
Yeah, go for it. Where I feel like the Heart Queen is gonna die, and then her spirit will go with Noel, and then Noel is gonna have like untapped like water magic. Like I agree with you. I feel like
dragons left and right. Like
So so I think that theory is definitely gonna come more realistic. But yeah, I think Asta is gonna have a hard time because it's physical magic. But I still think y'all are sleeping on Yami, dude. That dimensional slice is no joke.
No, I mean, and I feel like it's Yami. It's a matter of getting him in the right place. You know, we all know he slaps, but like he's just.
And I'm sure he's gonna have new stuff. Even like he's gonna have like multiple like dimension slash, like some atomic samurai, like 14 slash dimension,
multi-dimensional slasher, like space time, like slashes back in time or forward in time. What if you could do that, dude? What if you could like slash forward in time and like kill the guy like 2 seconds in the future? That'd be nuts. Yeah, that's my theory now. That's my theory.
I went back in time. I killed him as a kid. We're fine. I got it.
I think I'm making this a theory now. I think he's gonna be able to like send his slashes like somehow it's gonna be like playing with time somehow. Like it's space time. It's gonna be like something to do with space time. Either he can teleport it or like he can send it a little bit in the future. You don't tell Yami what to do. All right, Yami, he's got a dimensional slice. All right, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Well, so because obviously, so I think that this is definitely the intro to Xenon of like, I'm the big bad guy, but they're gonna have to fight through all the subordinates. So just like,
Sorry. Go ahead.
No. Well, all I was gonna say is, so like from as far as I read into One Piece, there's always the introduction of the bad guy, and then what is it? Luffy's just got to fight through all the fucking little dudes, and then you got to do all that for like 30 chapters, and then Luffy fights the bad guy. And so I feel like that this is the introduction. All right, I'm super powerful. You're not going to mess with me. And then like they're going to go through all the side battles and all the like the side characters and whatnot do their fighting through. And then I think it'll be like Asta and Noel. Who knows? Asta could be, because Asta's going to have a hard time. He could be on the verge of death. And then that's when Noel, with the spirit, is going to,
the power of love.
And she's gonna harness the power of love, and then she's gonna take down Xena.
Bam.
It's like she's gonna take it over from the Heart Kingdom Queen. So it's like power of love right there.
You
know that theory,
dude? Yes.
I thought it was interesting thinking about it that not often do you see a very powerful setup like in this sense, right? Like we saw the powerful villain being like licked, and then the devil, right? And so, like, there was a clear power difference in those two, but not too much. Like, it was a good fight. This is a clear power difference between the devil that we just saw and Xena. Like, he would destroy him. Like, you have to slice through his heart. Like, okay, bones, 84,000.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, like Xenon,
like I've never seen something like that.
Like, Xenon is the weakest of the three in the Dark Triad.
No, he's the leader. I thought he was the leader.
Nope, he's not the leader.
No.
I will show you the panel. I reread.
No.
Bitch, I reread this.
Go ahead. We gotta cut down the cursing. We're over a limit.
All right. Well, maybe we can make so.
Not like because I just thought that was really interesting in the fact in this, out of all things, like we have to see if we're seeing that kind of power difference. We have to see major leaps and bounds from the characters that we know, like the good guys too. Because even think of like I know we've made a lot of Naruto references today, but think of like a Pain and Madara, right? In my head, yes, there's a clear difference in their power, but that would still be a decent fight. Decent, it wouldn't be like absolutely crazy. Or I'm trying to think of someone else, right? Or even like the Emperor, if he goes through, Big Mom and Kaido, that's a good fight there. There's not a huge overall overarching difference between those.
So Xenon isn't the leader, but there isn't a leader. What it is three siblings who are they're three very powerful mages with devils. So I'm guessing it's going to be like three similarly powered guys. Well, it's one girl and two guys.
So I thought there's only one devil. I didn't think that there were three.
Yeah.
I thought it was the one devil, and I thought that he had tapped into Xenon, and Xenon is the host, the devil's host, and then the other two have like siphoned off devil powers, but Xenon was the host.
That's what I thought. I thought that Megacula possesses Xenon, and that he shares his power with other people.
Yeah, because in the panel where he's like, I'm at 55%, and then you see the devil is behind him, and there's...
Yeah, but
don't love that you don't know what the devil power is either. Like we have no idea realistically what that does. If it amplifies,
it's hard, though.
Like remember we were talking about the stone dude like 2 episodes back about okay, amplify his power, or is that a different power altogether? Like what does it do? It's crazy.
Yeah, because the bone magic could just be Xenon's regular power. Like he already has a dark power, and then the devil has something completely different, like even more malicious.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. The reason I'm pretty sure all three of them have devils is because all three of them have a devil like curse mark, but like different curse marks.
Well, so now my only thing with that is that the Heart Queen, she was cursed as well by Megicula, like by that same devil. So the devil can curse multiple people.
And
it's
that
not
may be
like it's
something
cursed
just
one.
to channel energy through like the devil's dimension. Because think about that. So I was thinking back to the devil that attacked them, right? That thing that he summons out of the dimension, like that is material from a different dimension. We have no idea what else they could bring from that. So in having like a mark like that, maybe they can tap into an element of that other dimension or something like that. Like I don't think that actually, because Asta doesn't have a mark just walking around, and he's confirmed he has a devil in him. Like he doesn't have a mark until he starts like bringing his power out, and then he gets that crazy stuff.
Well, the devil for him might be inside of his grimoire and not necessarily inside of him.
Yeah, I think it's in the grimoire.
Yeah, but like, well, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, I think first mark like you devil power like in, but you don't. But with those guys, like the rock guy and the mist guy, they don't have anything on them like in terms of a mark. Their powers are just amplified, it seems. So the mark to me seems like an more, again, I could be wrong. It just, to me, it seems like a more sure indication of they are possessed by it, not possessed, like they are inhabited by a devil, and that's what gives them their power.
Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to find out.
Well, and it would go along with the theme. We've seen it with the elves, with William Vengeance, like something residing in him as well with the elf. Like it's very possible to have like that duality within you, in that universe or whatever. So
yeah, so I mean, so to our listeners, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below what you guys think. There's a lot to unpack in this very short chapter, but hopefully we'll get some answers to it in the next one. Hey guys, thanks for listening to another episode from Off the Stoop. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more epic content as we dive deeper into these chapters. You can follow us at Off the Stoop on our socials to see funny memes and to also know when our videos go live. Thanks and have a great day.